Prime Minister Netanyahu has absolutely no respect for his partners and allies or his friends and adversaries at the same time. And therefore, we do not believe that we have a partner.
I need to know how to put the chat on the screen.
Over there, our main.
It's up. Is it up? If you ain't know, now you know. Qatar was just attacked by Israeli forces, and they bombed them. They bombed Qatar, saying they were looking for Hamas soldiers, staff, leadership, whoever. But they bombed a whole nother country. So, you know, yeah, it's up. Let's see where that go.
The fact that Israel is attacking like this, and we are working with the United States to make sure that these kind of incursions never happen again.
Final question. So how would these attacks, Israeli attacks, have an impact on Qatar's mediation role when it comes to the war?
They was trying to be the peacemakers.
Qatar has never held back when it comes to finding a peaceful solution at the end of this war. This war of genocide that has taken countless lives, more than 60,000 innocent Palestinians who have been killed as a result of this war. And you have
See, he said 60,000. Hold up. He said 60,000. People in my thing telling me 500,000. How do we get the numbers? Why is he saying 60,000?
Find a solution. Our efforts, along with our partners in Egypt and countless
partners in Egypt, Lord. I'm gonna make this quick.
Been able to reach an end to this war because of Prime Minister Netanyahu's narcissistic and personal agenda that has nothing to do with creating peace in the region, but has more to do with achieving his own personal ambitions.
Well, the White House has criticised the Israeli strikes on its ally, Qatar. Still, they've stopped short of rebuking Israel for the attack. US President Donald Trump says he regrets the location of the strike, but in a statement, the White House said that it believes eliminating Hamas, the target of the attack, is a worthy goal.
I want to see what happened. See what happened. Yeah, inshallah. Inshallah. Where is that? The festival. Where is that? Somebody on the stream about the festival. I don't know where it's at. It's crazy. I want to see the whoop.
Paula, what is Qatar saying about this?
So whether Israel wants
can they?
Ismail Haniyeh, who was the stationed
West.
The international community is clear and held on.
Hit the Hamas political leadership after Israeli airstrikes. Officials in Qatar are assessing the damage after Israeli airstrikes hit the Hamas political leadership on Tuesday. It's a significant escalation in the 2-year war. Qatar is a major U.S.
About to be a 3-year war. 3-year genocide.
Considering a new peace proposal when the strikes happened. A Hamas spokesperson says the leadership survived the attack, but the son of a Hamas senior leader was killed, and families of the hostages are now expressing, quote, grave concern.
I am shaking with fear. It could be that at this very moment, the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu...
Is it up? Let me talk. We just saw... Are we on Kick? Yeah, we live on Kick. Where's the Palestine Festival? Which one? Will you be at the Palestine Festival? Which one? A few. But listen. Hey. In the words of my New Orleanian brother, Rob 49, what the helly? Huh? Did y'all see what just happened? What the helly? Israel just bombed the capital of Qatar. Qatar just had the World Cup. They just vied for the World Cup. Most of their cabinet don't even have bids. They're neutral. They're not even threatening. They not looking like the stereotypical the picture that they try to paint, the big bearded Muslim thobed up. Now they wearing suits and they got the naked face a lot of times. So for them to be bombed shows no regard. I'm sure all type of international violations has been been broken, but does that mean it's up? You know what I'm saying? This is the wolf picking off the sheep one by one. They said that they want to take over all the land that the Abraham's foot stepped on. They want to conquer the whole Middle East. And this was just a test to see how you react. You feel, oh, it's an accident. America and Israel playing good cop, bad cop. You know what I'm saying? They like Mortimer and Duke from Trading Places. You remember Mortimer and Duke? They bet $1 to see if Eddie Murphy can out-hustle and out-survive Dan Aykroyd. They better die. It was a joking game to them, but they was playing back and forth, good cop, bad cop. One person don't know what's going on. One person do this. I mean, it's crazy. So what does that mean? Is it up? When are y'all going to realize they're going to pick you off one by one? You feel what I'm saying? They saw you not supporting the Gazans in their suffering. So they like, okay, we could get away with this, and we could get away with that, and we could get away with this. And I'm sure, stop for life if I'm wrong, but I'm sure, where'd that come from? Hold on, let me Google it right now. I think that's Scarface. King of New York, Frank White. A quote from King of New York, Frank White, rang in my head. Now, I pray, because we are Muslims, but the quote from King of New York, Frank White, Christopher Walken, when he said, y'all got fat while we starved. So I'm sure the Gazans are in Gaza looking at the Qatarians, looking at the Arabians, looking at the Emiratis, the Arab brothers in faith of La ilaha illallah, eating well, feasting, getting fat, doing World Cups, getting all these festivities while they're starving. And now the bomb landed on their land. So are we going to unify now? Is the Ummah going to unify now? Are the Muslim leadership going to come together now? I'm a Muslim in America. We sitting back just watching like, man, we holding the flag of Islam higher and waving it more than any of these places in a non-Muslim land. Like the brothers also in Europe and the UK and France. These people are flying the banner of Islam, saying La ilaha illallah and acting upon the Quran and the Sunnah and unifying. It's coming with the people. But in all sincerity, this is crazy, but this is a warning shot. So I pray that those in position of power know that they have a clear enemy and they cannot side with them, because just like the wolf tricked the sheep to separate, they all turn their blind eye on one sheep and they ate him. They're going to do it piece by piece till there's no sheep left. And it's one sheep, and it's not a group of them, and they turn and devour and eat them, and there's no unification. It's better to stick together. So it's real sad to see this, but I hope it's a warning sign. It's a sign. It's not a warning sign. It is a sign. It's a sign that they can't be trusted. And now they're saying, okay, it won't go without reprimand. It won't go without retribution. It won't go without some type of punishment. Well, what is the punishment you're going to have? You said diplomatic punishment. What are you going to sanction him? What are you going to give him a good talking to? What is going to happen? You feel what I'm saying? Because you see they have no respect for your land. Who know they had Qatarians in there that got killed. So they were willing to sacrifice Qatarians who just were allies, are still allies with America, just gave Donald Trump a big $700 million plane. They didn't care about the lives of the Qatarians when they bombed them. And then they said they gave them a heads-up phone call to get your people out. They say they ain't getting no phone call. They got the phone call a few seconds before. So you know what I'm saying? So is this going to go unpunished? This is an unwarranted attack. The people that they was trying to get didn't even get killed. They got out of there. Alhamdulillah. And it is what it is. Like, they don't put me, I'm just watching. Like I said, we in America, watching this, watching the representation of Muslim leadership while we waking up and going in the trenches in the hoods of all the urban areas, in the O blocks and the Chicagos and the Tenderloins in San Francisco and the third wards, ninth wards, and the streets of Philadelphia, the streets of Minneapolis, the streets of New York, Brooklyn, Queens, and giving dawah and spreading the message of la ilaha illallah and unity and togetherness and wanting for your brother what you want for yourself. Well, the leadership over there in the Middle East that are canoodling with the Israeli people and the IDF and the government should want liberation for their Muslim brothers and sisters in Gaza, Palestine, and Sudan. They should all be a unified front. It shouldn't be tribes and disunity, and it's enough money to go around. You know what I'm saying? It's enough money to go around, but everybody's engaged in greed. They getting fat while others starve. They getting fat while Sudan starved. They got fat while Gazans starved. They got fat while Sudanese starved. And this is the first sign of, as Brother Malcolm X said, the chickens coming home to roost. So they don't care about you. This was supposed to be a peace treaty, man. They were trying to bring together peace. And I love Qatar. I love the Qatarians, beautiful people. They're playing the neutral ground. They're trying to bring peace. They always were supportive of Gaza and other Muslim countries. They're not even in the I think they're not part of they're part of the GCC or whatever, but they're not all the way in bed with the UAE and other countries. They won't, you can have sovereignty in Qatar, or you can have refuge in Qatar if you're, looking for others. Because, yeah, anywhere else, they would have went anywhere else, they would have turned them in. They would have turned them in. So that was the safe place. That was the Sweden of the Middle East trying to bring peace amongst the people. But look where it got them. The Israeli government, Israeli defense, Israeli whoever has no regard for the Muslim lives or for the Muslim land. They're willing to sacrifice. They would have killed all the quote-unquote Your Highness and the royal family and all that. They didn't give a damn who was in there. If the king would have been in there, he would have got bombed. They would have pressed the button. So it is what it is. But I hope this is a wake-up call for the Middle East, a wake-up call for the royalty in Dubai and in Oman and in Jordan and in Qatar and everywhere else, any other land, in Saudi Arabia, MBS. Man, them people don't care about y'all, man. They come and pick y'all apart one by one, and y'all already know it. So you better wake up, man. Put that lamb shank down, man. Pick up that Quran, pick up that miswak and get to it. Put something together and let them know y'all ain't no pussies, because they're going to run all over you. But, yeah, what's up? Can I read my chat? Tired of screaming. Israel. I'm reading the chat. What's good? Did you say they? They just mad they didn't get the World Cup. You're right. It's going crazy out here. But that's all I wanted to talk on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I just wanted to get on there and say that. So where do we go from here, everybody? What do you think? What do you think these GCC and Middle East countries will do now? Will they make an excuse and forgive and turn the other cheek? Huh? Or will they try to, get some retribution, get their lick back? Are they going to turn the other cheek, or are they going to get their lick back? What are they going to do? Doha, is it up? UAE, GCC, the Middle East, the royal Muslim Arab countries, is it up? Are y'all still going to lie in bed with them people and forgive? Come on, man. Stop it. In other news, Trump wants to send the National Guard to all the black cities in America. What's up with that? You got a lot going on, man. Hey, bro, this man ain't even do a calendar year in office yet. He going ham. He's sending ICE.
The Trump administration is launching new immigration crackdown operations in the Democrat-run states of Illinois and Massachusetts. This comes as the U.S. Supreme Court ruling has given the federal government more leeway to ramp up ICE raids. Bradley Blackburn has more.
Protests in Chicago, where the Trump administration ratcheted up immigration.
I'm in there, inshallah. Pull up on me.
We're bringing back law and order to our country.
The Department of Homeland Security.
Okay, Donald Trump, the U.S. government, has threatened to send the National Guard to majority black cities with black governments in America, from New Orleans to Philadelphia, Chicago, Baltimore. All these places have black mayors. Some of them have black governors, but black mayors, majority black cities. from what I've heard, all the crime has been down in those cities. I don't know about Philadelphia, but Chicago for sure. And shout out to Muslamatic. Shout out to Sadiq Ali, the peacemaker. These are people, these are the essential, the pillars in the city that's bringing the violence down. Iman Central. Shout out Iman Central. I was over there in Inglewood. Inglewood, man, it's beautiful, the community that they built there. It's beautiful, the centers, the infrastructure, the health centers, the mental health centers, the mosques, the community centers, the grocery stores, employing people from the community. They're giving dawah in the streets. If anything, instead of sending the National Guard, you should send resources to Muslamatic, Sadiq Ali. But come tap in people. Go see what the program is that is actually working to bring violence down and enrich them. Enrich Iman Central. Enrich the work that they're doing. Now, I don't know if Trump is sending the National Guard in to try to get rid of the immigrants, the people he deem illegal immigrants, or is he trying to just rain terror on the black community? I'm sure it might be a little bit of both. But with that being said, it's not welcome. But if you go into Chicago, just like everybody go visit O Block, y'all saw Speed went up there and did a backflip in front of O Block and got out of there. They said, man, you don't come to the hood empty-handed. So you can't be rich and come into the hood empty-handed, man. You're supposed to give out pieces and blessings and gifts and offerings, brother. But that's neither here nor there. So if you do send these government agencies, y'all need to tap in with the people that's doing the work, because you know that the crime is down, but they're ignoring the statistics. They just want to have their fingerprint and a chokehold on black leadership, putting the foot on their neck and trying to roll back the time. But listen, shout out to Muslamatic. Shout out to Sadiq Ali, the peacemaker. They're doing great work. Shout out to the mayor of Baltimore. We have an Umma Day coming there. They're doing great work. These cities are flourishing. Crime is down. And from what it was in the yesteryears, of course, there's still crime going on, but it's better in it. I don't think it warrants, and it doesn't warrant National Guard, and it's not welcome. If anything, tap in and try to see what you could do to infuse these impoverished areas to make crime go away. They should be trying to inject federal funding into these areas in schools and community centers and anything else, entrepreneurship, businesses, people that are making the community great, bringing the Ummah together in these areas, in the community together in these areas to invigorate the economy before you spend the same amount of money trying to house and send the National Guard in. That's only going to create traffic, dissension, and just more problems. I don't think it's going to bring about any problems. You know what I'm saying? Fear tactics shouldn't work, especially on your own country. This your own soil, man. It's supposed to be protect and serve, I thought. So who you protecting and serving? But, you know, I'm sure there's a greater plan. What do y'all think that greater plan is? Why would Trump want to send the National Guard? What would the outcome be? What is the hidden hand or the hidden plan behind sending the National Guard to these black urban cities? You know, New Orleans definitely don't need it. New Orleans been cool. You know, it's been real good since the 90s and the 2000s and pre-Katrina. This is the best it's been post-Katrina. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't know, man. This guy's he's been on the tirade. You know, and him and his partner in crime, he's doing work on one side of the world, going crazy, unhinged, unbalanced, unchecked, just running wild. This man is running wild. I'm talking about Netanyahu, Bibi, Habibi versus Bibi. ID, the F stands for feces. Pop out them tunnels on them like Luigi. But that's neither here nor there. What is going on is he's running around unchecked, you know what I'm saying, without any consequences. Impunitive. He's operating impunitively without any consequences, no checks, no balances. He's going rogue, dropping bombs on any and everything, knowing there will be no pushback. So, like I asked again, is it up? Is it up? How you spread your following? I don't know how I'm gonna spread my following content-wise. I'm just content-wise. I'm just putting the message out, brother. That's all. I don't care if it's 1 or 1,000 on this screen. We gonna get here. We gonna chop it up. We gonna put it on social media, and hopefully spread the word. Because we just got to keep kicking up dust. But I'm giving the Islamic viewpoint on the things that I see. Islamically, the Ummah needs to come together, especially in the inner cities, and continue to push push the message of La ilaha illallah. So when you hear the threat of Trump sending the National Guard here, the Muslims need to go out into the streets. Inshallah, we go out into the streets and to these areas and give da'wah and show the unification of the community. And maybe it may bring the people together. It's better to know the enemy than to have the enemy to be a wolf in sheep's clothes, but know that you have a clear enemy so you can know how to plan, strategize, and operate. Hopefully, these threats of sending the National Guards bring the people together so that they can know, look, we have to show solidarity, we have to show togetherness, and know that you are not your enemy. Brothers on 63rd, 64th, brothers in this part of this city or this part of the city or whoever, wherever they are, you are not the enemy of another. And whatever street stuff that go on that make us oppositions to each other, ops to each other, we need to overstand and overcome that, man. So inshallah, that's where we at with it, man. But they need to tap in with the, inshallah, like I said, inshallah, we bring awareness. All that's going on should make the Ummah stronger, especially in America. The Muslims in the streets, the Muslims that's out giving, like the people out, the Germantown Mosque, Hassan, Somalia, and Philadelphia, they're out there spreading the message. And all the people, the Muslims in Baltimore, the community in Baltimore, the black businesses in Baltimore, let's show solidarity all over these urban cities. And let them know there's no need. There's no need for the National Guard. The community can rectify, God willing, it'll bring us together to rectify ourselves, rectify the problems better than the presence of the National Guard can do. Because all it will do is just intensify, make it more stressful, whatever. That's what I'm saying. But I've heard they say streets quiet now in D.C. I don't know. Allah. But Allah's the best of planners, but I don't know if it's good or bad. I don't know if it'll work or not, but I hope it just brings us to a higher level of God consciousness. I hope all this, what we see happening in the Middle East, what we see happening in Africa, what we see happening in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in all these countries in West Africa, in South Africa, may it be an awareness to wake us up and have more God consciousness and more taqwa. What we seeing happening in the streets of America and in the Middle East, what we see happening in Gaza, may it bring us closer to Allah, make us more God conscious. Know that this life is short and we must do beneficial work while we're here. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm gone. Have $1 million day.